Good. Oh, we're good. Here we go. Hello and welcome to Coming Into Being. And boy, even before I get on, I get a wonderful little message from Cheryl and Tiffany. We are here today, but we have been watching recordings. So nice for you to join. It's always fun to have people join in live. So we will come in to our place, and Carolina on the other side joining in. Very nice. So welcome to Coming Into Being, and we are gonna dive in and see where it takes us today. Um, so just take a deep breath in, kind of move your shoulders around a little bit, your body. It's always good to shift to kind of wiggle ourselves to shift around. And Lydia, hey, good to see you. And let ourselves just kind of shake off what wherever we were before. So, and if you have a cup of tea with you, great, or a cup of water. If not, that's okay. So, let's just take a nice deep breath in, hold it at the top, and then exhale your breath all the way out. And just keep pushing the air out, push until the body just kicks back in, and it will. And that has a way of just resetting us completely, especially when we're stressed or anxiety. That really brings your intention into what you're doing and kind of shifts you into that present moment, because that's where everything is. That's where all our answers are. And that's where we are um, in our bodies. And so if we bring in our minds and all of ourselves into this present moment in time. So just come into your breath. Notice your breath. And if you need to take a nice deep breath in and relax while you're doing that, sometimes it's like we kind of slow down, we kind of bring ourselves a little bit more grounded, and then we kind of have something that just comes up and a little release that happens. So that's good. Like I do have right now. So it kind of feels like a yawn and just kind of this expansion that's needed. And bringing your awareness to your upper chest. You can call it the heart space if you want, or it's just your chest. So, and feeling your breath. Start by just noticing your breath going in and out. And just let's pay attention to that breath a little bit, becoming aware of just the air coming in and then the air going out. And letting your mind slow down, kind of relax in. Hey, Star Galaxy. Oh, Frosty Crow. I didn't even notice you had popped in. I'm not kind of looking at the screen. I'm more focused inward, so focusing on the group. So welcome. Good to see you guys. So focusing on the breath. Really let yourself kind of get into those physical sensations and Ralu on the other side, with the air coming in the nostrils and into the lungs, and then going back out. Any differences you notice? This is a great group today. You can really feel kind of that excitement in the group, and excitement, just kind of that happy to be here. So that's nice. Like ready to just, oh gosh. Maybe it would help if I put my headset on here. How is YouTube? How are you guys hearing me on YouTube? Because I didn't have my headset on. So I'm here. I leave 30 minutes to head to town. Okay, perfect. Perfect. Just to get you really centered. So I hope that's better on YouTube. And Sydney. Oh, hello, Sydney. Okay, we've got a good group here going. Hearing you well. Yeah, I just put on the headset so a minute ago. So anyways, focusing on the breath. And again, just focusing on those sensations, close your eyes if you need to. If you want to just kind of, sometimes that helps to just kind of get more focused in. Sounds great on IG, yeah, because there's, you guys get it direct. So there's, I can only plug into one side. Yay, okay, good. Good on the hearing. Feeling those lungs expand. And feeling that movement of 360 degrees with your torso expanding and contracting, and just follow that movement. Slowing your mind down, following the breath. And then diving in a little bit deeper to the heartbeat, bringing your awareness into the heartbeat. Noticing the breath and the heartbeat. And see if you can notice that heartbeat in your entire body. Because it's there in your entire body with the circulation of the blood following that rhythm, that pulsing all the way through. So let yourself just have a sense of that right now. We're just going to anchor the group. So just focusing on that heartbeat and that rhythm, that heartbeat going through your whole body. And I'm going to just kind of anchor the group a little bit more deeply in, more connected into the earth. Yeah, very nice. And wisdom happy, just, you're going to be running off soon, and that's fine. But for right now, just kind of shift yourself as fully as possible into right here, right now. And sometimes when you have that, we want to take that time to ourselves, but we know we've got something else coming up. So just put yourself a timer, so that way it's like, okay, the timer is going to go off. I can just kind of like put that aside and really come into the present moment for myself. You get a little stuck. You're doing the same thing you've done before, but a little bit more in your head than you need to be. So just keep working on that. Keep on just work in progress. It's like, one way for you to look at that is that there is a I did a timer. Good, very good for you. It's one way to look at that is there's a part of you that's always going into fear, because there's this fear thing that just keeps coming up in your head. So one thing you can do with that is just to sit down, and this is a little kind of note for everybody, is just to sit down with yourself when you have some quiet time to yourself, and just kind of tune in and just say, okay, I'd like to talk to the part of me that is afraid. And you can do this in writing, or just do it, kind of in your head, talking to yourself kind of that way, and just talk to it and see what's up, what's going on, why are you afraid? And you can actually go really far with those kinds of conversation and help bring resolution to something that is just having a hard time kind of thing, just by being heard. Sometimes it's all we need to do with ourselves is hear ourselves out, hear what's going on. Yeah, there we go. That helped to just kind of shift that a little bit for you there. So it's a little bit more to the side instead of like being on top of you. Yeah. Very good. So feeling that pulse of the heart, feeling it in your body. And just have it kind of drop down. So everybody kind of just drop your awareness down to the core of the earth, and the new earth grid. Yeah. And everybody's pretty much just, even with just that piece that we just did before, just tuning into your heart space, the rhythm of your heart, the beating of your heart through your body. Yeah, people are really connected and really quickly, really deeply today. Very nice. Now, from that connection to the core of the earth, let's just stay there for a minute. Oh, there we go. There we go. And you may notice that just all of a sudden with that shift, just a little, just that kind of relaxing, just kind of that last little kind of letting go happening. And feeling both your heart space, your chest, the beating heart, and the earth, core of the earth. See if you can tune into those at the same time. And let's line up that rhythm for you. Line up those two together for you. That was very smooth, but see if you notice that, how that there's just it's like this straight line that's going through you, actually, all the way down. So there's really nice precision tonight for everybody for that connection. And notice that alignment, and in that alignment, there's just this sense of, it can feel like oneness with, with the earth, and just that's state of oneness, really, through that connection to the earth. And feel that strength. Notice to kind of deep dive into that feeling. See if you can just feel that strength. And it's a very nice, because it's this very soft feel. It's a very gentle strength. We get so used to that strength being so connected in with power and force, but this is a different kind of strength. This is a pure strength. And it is a feminine strength. It's a strength that's coming from the feminine aspect of existence. And by feminine, so I want to talk a little bit about that, because that's something that doesn't get understood very well. When we say masculine, feminine, of course, we automatically, as human beings, we tie that into man, woman. But it's much deeper than that. It really, in some ways, a better way to look at that at the human level is yin yang. So that's these two forces that are just at an interplay with each other in their pure assets, in their pure level, that balance each other out, that are always kind of rolling with each other, shifting around with each other, and are in pure balance. And so each have their own qualities. We all know that. And what we're tapping into today, it's beautiful. It's very nice. It's that pure feminine strength. So allowing yourself to really just breathe into that, just kind of staying in that your heart space, and that centered on both your heart space and being aware also of your the core of the earth and that alignment. Yeah. So there's and it's like grace and beauty and strength all coming together here. Really good job, guys. I want to say it's going to be a good year for everybody. Good start. It's already March, so we're kind of into the year, aren't we already? By God. But it's good. It's good to have that at the beginning of the year, to have that come in early in the year, to really come into that place for ourselves and really feel that and bring that into our vibration and our way of being. So yeah. And notice how kind of clean it is of emotions. There's really not an emotional content here. So emotions are very, very separate from this, but there's just this kind of pure state of grace, beauty, strength, all coming in. Henna, I'm sorry if I don't say your name correctly. It's kind of hard sometimes to read these handles because we have to like just jam them all together to make them fit in. But Henny Dara F Darren. So excuse me if I'm not saying your name correctly, but thanks for joining us. We're just really tapping into that connection. So you could, if you just jumped in, just kind of come into your breath. Focus on your breath. Be aware of that. Then coming into the heartbeat. Noticing your heartbeat. Danish name. Oh, very nice. So heartbeat, feeling that heartbeat throughout your whole body. And then feeling that, bringing your awareness so that it's on your heart and the earth. And feeling that alignment. So coming into that. So I was talking about emotions, and emotions are really just this kind of burst of energy of expression that come through, but they're very temporary, really, when they're in their pure state. Because it's an expression in the moment. It's not an expression that is tied to some event in the past, something that happened. And when emotions are tied to the past, then it's something that just engulfs us and just kind of like works us through. But when we get into this pure state, so really allow yourself to sink into this this place that we are in, and just like, so what you can do with every breath, just like you're just breathing it into you, taking it into you, like into your lungs, and it's going into your bloodstreams, and then really allowing that frequency to just expand, fill you up to every cell in your body. Of this there's this calmness there, calm, strength, grace, beauty. So let me know if you can feel this, if you're feeling this piece. Very different. And if you were here last time or another time before this, you might think, oh yeah, like a time you were here and you kind of remember, it's like, wow, okay, that was, yeah, this is very different. So emotions are something that come through in the moment to help us move through in the way that we need to, what is in the moment. So with the other emotions, so that's like the really pure emotion. But with those other emotions, when they come up, that's fine, because that's also kind of indicating to you, it's like, okay, there's still something here for me that I need to move through. And the difference, how you can tell the difference, is when it's the pure emotion, it's like It comes through, a burst of anger, let's say, it just comes through, you express that, and in the very next moment, you're on to something else. You don't, it doesn't, you don't hold on to it, doesn't stay with you. So that's the difference. Whereas the other kind, it's like, oh, it kind of sits in the back of your mind, it's like, it kind of works through kind of thing. So, yeah. Yeah, very good. Let yourself drop into the earth just a little bit more. See if you can stay connected in your heart space and drop a little bit further down, more like anchor yourself more, like it's like holding on more strongly in your awareness with the earth. Yeah. So I want to come back to this feeling the rhythm of the heartbeat in your body. Kind of intermingled with the breath, but there's there we go, throughout the whole body. And then connecting into the earth with that pulse. And the pulse of the earth. And see if if you're synced up, or maybe even if you're just a little off, that's okay, but notice how you line up to the earth. And you might try to want to try that on your own afterwards with that, following the same steps. And when you're in that deep alignment, it's coming up a little bit more strongly earlier. It's coming in now, but just it was stronger earlier. You will be able to feel kind of everything, like your whole field and your whole state of being, just kind of, there's a pulse, but there's this expansion, this glow that emanates from you. Everybody's doing pretty well with that, actually. Yeah, and that's actually, we're clearing out a layer in doing this. It's both the group, but it's also tapping into the collective. So that means we're just going into deeper than ourselves, personal work, So very nice, yeah. There's, just a layer of suffering. Suffering from it's like this lack of connection of having had this quality come through our mothers, especially. And this is a quality that can come through male or female, but especially through our mothers. It does come through the fathers as well, but it's like there's a nuanced flavor that's different with the masculine than with the feminine. Here it's very clearly the feminine. And of course, as I say that, I'm feeling that masculine aspect of this quality coming through. So really nice, yeah. So keep focusing on and just see if you can notice that, if you can feel. There was just a little bit of shift when I talked about the masculine, and it started to come in. Sort of like, existence is really here to support us when we get out of the way, when we have all that gunk, that if we can get beyond that. And just by my saying it, it's coming in, because it's like the existence, the whole of existence wants to give you that, wants to provide us with whatever we need. And so this is a very beautiful session here. And now it's, yeah, for me it's very clearly there's that grace and gentleness and strength coming from the masculine, as well as the feminine. And it's very, there's just this softness to it in at this time. And so very, yeah, wow. Very nurturing and very supportive. Just this, yeah, very beautiful. And I'm sorry. What I'm seeing happening is that there's people in the collective that are seeing that and that are just coming forward because they want this so much. I didn't feel I was back in my feminine until after my divorce. Yeah. Yeah, good. Good you came into that. So coming into that even more, yeah. Probably because you had roles switched, and you were in that uh, um, reversal, masculine, feminine reversal. And so when you separated out, that kind of gave you the chance, the opportunity to just open up to that for yourself, kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, we can always dive into things even more, because it's always about growing into more of who we are, more of the good that we want in our lives, more of everything. Yeah, and honey, I'm sorry, I'm gonna just not be able to pronounce your name, but you said Star Galaxy, same here. I don't know. Oh, you probably can see that on there. Yeah, so yeah, very good. Like both of you are kind of examples of strong women who are trying to be strong, but in a masculine way. Really trying to hold it together and hold their lives and be just unfortunately done in not, because we really don't have the right role models growing up, right? In our lives. And plus what's happening now is that things are shifting. There's so much clearing that's happening around everything, that there's kind of this new flavor that's coming into every single thing in existence. And so the feminine, so you start to get a sense of that feminine after your divorce is there. And now it's like, okay, well, let's take that even to a pure level. And I can also relate to that as well. Yeah. So it's been eons for this piece of the feminine to be supported in a proper way by the masculine. And so both have been extremely distorted. There's been a tendency, and right or wrong, there's just been this tendency more recently of upholding the feminine, and we kind of have to go in that direction, but then we need to come back and realize it's like everything has been distorted. So coming into that place, because it's like it takes two to tango, have to find balance within. Yeah. Being two spirit, this is always something I have to find balance with. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that's an interesting one. So when you come back to that piece, Frosty Crow, it's like come back to a deeper state and a deeper understanding of the two forces. Remember that it's like this flowing in this interplay between the two, and they're always there, always supporting each other. So it's not one or the other. And so so here's something that came up in terms of the word balance. You know, when you think of balance, you're automatically thinking of like, okay, it's like a teeter-totter. We've got to find that where they're both at the same level. When you come into the center of that, so there's the balance, and you're either up or down, but when you're in the center, you have that equanimity. And usually equanimity, that's been kind of popping up for me. That came up a little 2-3 days ago. This equanimity, and usually that's associated with a mental state of mind. But for me, I was like, really, when I was looking at that, it's like, no, that's like equanimity of the state of being, of just this perfect alignment. And when you tune into that, this equanimity again, so the balance is like, okay, finding exactly where the teeter-totter is not going to be going one way or the other, and coming into that part of what the board is balancing on. And you just take away the board, and you're there. And that state of stillness. And that's part of what's coming in here, because it's like that fine line. It was a very fine line that just came right through everybody. When you're aligning your heart, you come into the earth, align that, your physical heart, that heartbeat into the earth, finding that alignment. And going deeper with that to spirit thing. So I think a lot of people can relate to that. It may be a different, understanding with a different language around that. It's like coming into an even deeper aspect of that. Because when we think of two, we tend to go into that either or. So again, with that balance, either or, and kind of having to go back and forth with, but it's like, it's all there all at the same time. And letting them come in at the same time, not one or the other. And it's there might be one that leads more than the other, than one that's more kind of behind than the other, but they're always both there. So it's a deeper level of self-mastery, and it's like having that for yourself is a piece of really. You just need to go deeper into mastery of yourself, of your being. So it's more challenging, more demanding, but then so much more power and strength and stability. So yeah, challenge, but if you've got that, man, you've got a lot of power there too, for you to be able to tap into. Does that make sense for you, Frosty Carol? And for other people, I'm kind of, she's bringing it up in her way, but that can apply to all of us in so many ways. Wow, this makes a lot of sense. I truly appreciate your teachings. Yeah, great. Oh, good. That's helping. Yeah. And so, yeah, so today this is great because there's that strength that's coming in. Now you're starting to tap into it because of that piece that just came up, how's everybody else doing? Did that click in for people in terms of that strength and finding that equanimity of self, so to give you an image again, so there's the teeter-totter. I guess that's called the fulcrum, the part that the board bounces on, and you just become the fulcrum. You don't become this other part. That's as humans, we tend to get focused on that because we talk about balance, and so we're either you're finding that balance between all these things we're juggling. and coming into that center point, and always holding that center point. So some of us do have a much more, a piece of our life that is much more, or our lives are much more centered in coming into that middle spoke. And in fact, if you look at this is a piece that also applies to astrology. And for some of us, it's a lot more pertinent. For me, I've got an astrology chart that really pushes me even more into that piece. But it's to master your astrological chart, to rule it, instead of being ruled by the planets, you got to come to the center. It's like that spoke, I'm not sure how you call it, the wheel, but you've got the wheel that spins around and you've got that center spoke. So everything is just spinning around. This is you right here. And the planets are spinning around you, and you hold that. And when you get to that place, so it's a lot of mastery. It's a lot of knowing who you are, coming into your being. Then everything just starts to, it's hard to explain. It's like you're able to make use of the influences of the planets instead of being pulled around. So a typical example of that is people talking about Mercury retrograde, and then you've got people are like, oh, we're all over the place, Scott, oh my God, kind of stuff, right? and so when you're in that place, it's like, oh, all this is happening around in the world, and you're like right here, you're holding solid, and it's like, oh yeah, whatever, kind of thing. Strength is part of the balance. Yeah. So I want to come back to that imagery for you all. So going to the breath. Coming into a little deeper into the heartbeat. Feeling that heartbeat throughout the body. And staying with awareness in the heartbeat, but dropping into the core of the earth and being aware of both. And instantly, okay, that it's a very fine line that just comes right through you. From the heavens, if you want to see it that way, from pure source, if you want to see it that way, from the whole of existence, that straight through you. It's a very fine line, and dropping all the way to the core of the earth. And coming into that stillness of being. And being in that center line, the thinner the line, the more mastery, the more alignment is important to have. So this is that place where all the planets are spinning around you. All those different aspects that you might be playing with. And whether it's like being two spirits like Frosty Crow says, or if it's just different aspects, different pieces, identities that we have for ourselves, different roles that we have for ourselves, we're right here. And all these are just coming around. And it's like, okay, this is coming in, but I'm here, right here, solid and strong. Hope that makes sense to you. Hope you have a sense of that. Strength. Yeah. Very nice. Very, very, very nice session today. Yeah, and there was that piece of with the folks in the collective, part of these beings in the collective coming up, literally coming up from below and moving in closer to really start to have that, because this is something that is in the process of coming in for people more. Existence is changing in these very potent pieces that we're bringing in. So when we do group work like that, like we are here, there are these pieces that come in because we're activating them. We're consciously coming here. It's coming through. And so that helps to light it up for others in the consciousness and slowly get all those little lights going. So very nice session today. Very beautiful. How's everybody doing? Is there anything anybody would like to share? You are welcome to do so. Everybody, very kind of a unified group session today. Sometimes we get like individual people pop up here and there of kind of their spirits showing up. It's like, what about me? Sending you all beams of light, love. Oh, thank you. That's so sweet. Much appreciated. And feeling very calm and still in my body. Yeah, very nice. Very nice. Yeah, good. Yeah, feel that. And just as when we get to the end of our session here, just noticing, feeling that centeredness, that I could feel the core of the earth. Yeah, good. And that line, so you can visualize that line, and that can help. But really, it's the piece about filling your heart, coming into your heart space. So you have to slow yourself down. For two up here, then it's like it's hard. So coming into the breath, coming into the heartbeat, feeling that heartbeat in our whole beings. And when you feel it in your whole being, you might even also feel your whole core, your whole field just kind of glowing and expanding, and then dropping into the earth and feeling both at the same time. Sydney, really felt myself bounce out at one point, the different energies moving. Yeah, nice, very nice. Very good. Well, thank you all for a beautiful session today. And we're here every Wednesday. So 7 p.m., right? At 7 p.m. Eastern, Central European time. And for the rest of March, we're 5 hours difference from Eastern Standard Time. So it's instead of 1 o'clock, it's 2 o'clock. But April is going to switch back to 6-hour difference. So 7 p.m. Central European time and 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but that'll be in April. So please do check out my website if you want to know more about me, unboundedandfree.com. And this reminded me, if you like to, if you feel inclined to, there's a little QR code for a value donation, whatever feels right. It's not obligatory, just if you're feeling that inclination, that there you have it. And we will be back next week for more light travels and fun together. So there we have it for today. All right, take care, everybody, and we will see you next time you show up. And if not, we'll see you in the ethers before then. So take care and have a good rest of your week.